trust you. You saw me open every door, lay my fears across the floor. I trusted you without a doubt, while you were slowly checking out. I gave you honesty in full. You took it calm, you took it cool. I didn't know the price I'd pay for trusting you that way. You never stopped me when I fell. You never warned me things weren't well. You stood right there and let it grow. A love you didn't wanna hold. You watched me trust you with everything inside. You watched me believe while you were already divided. You watched me trust you and never looked away. That's what hurts the most. You let me stay, watch me trust you. I gave you all. Watch me trust you. And let me fall. I remember nights I felt secure, believing you were sure. I planned a future in my head while you were quietly misled. You didn't lie, you didn't scream, just let silence play its scene. I kept investing hard and true while you were choosing what not to do. I don't blame love for being blind. I blame the truth you left behind. You don't betray with obvious signs. You do it when you waste someone's time. You watched me trust you, gave me hope you didn't mean. I stood loyal to a feeling you had already outgrown clean. You watched me trust you, and that's the deepest scar. Not losing you in one goodbye, but losing who I thought you are. It's hard to heal from something slow when you don't know when to let go. You don't shatter hearts with pain. You break them when you stay the same. You watch me trust you, but I won't blame my heart. I loved with honesty. You played a careful part. You watched me trust you. Now I finally see I deserve a love that stops me before I fall this I believed in very calm excuse. Every nothing's wrong from you. I held on to what we had, even when it felt unbalanced. I trusted tone more than truth, re-loving the things you wouldn't do. I stayed because I thought belief could turn uncertainty into peace. I told myself love needs time, that doubt was just a fragile sign. But every night my heart would ache from promises you wouldn't make. I believed until it hurt, until hope became awake. I kept choosing what we were, while you chose how long to wait. I believed until it hurt. That's how deep the damage goes. Not from what you did to me, but from what I let myself suppose. Until it hurt. I stay strong. Until it hurt. I stay too long. You never asked me to believe, but you never set me free. You let my faith keep standing still, while your heart was somewhere else to be. I saw the cracks, ignored the sound. When love felt quiet, thin and bound, I told myself it was just fear, but fear was truth I didn't hear. I don't blame love for being kind. I blame the lies I told my mind. You don't break hearts with cruel intent, you break them with indifference. I believed until it hurt, until trust became the cost. I gave my all to something real, while you decided what we're not. I believed until it hurt. Now I finally understand. Belief without honesty is just hope without a plan. It's hard to know when love is gone, when you're the only one holding on. You don't fall apart in one mistake, you fade with every step you wait. I believe until it hurt, but I won't regret my heart. I loved honestly and fully, you just never did your part. I believe until it hurt. Now I choose what's true for me. I won't believe in love again without clarity. Under quiet skies I finally learned. I believe until it hurt. You held the truth behind your smile, like it could wait a little while. You said the timing wasn't right, so honesty stayed out of sight. I felt the weight in every pause, the way your answers lost their cause. But I stayed calm, I stayed polite, believing truth would come tonight. I asked for clarity, not blame. You answered gently, never straight. I didn't know delaying truth was how you chose to hesitate. You let the truth wait until it couldn't help but stay. You let the truth wait while love slowly slipped away. I could have faced it when it hurt, I could have learned, I could have changed, but you let the truth wait, and now it's far too late. Let it wait. That's what you did. Let it wait. That's what you did. Let it wait. I trusted patience more than fear, believed your silence meant you cared. You said soon but never when, and soon became the end. I gave you space, I gave you grace, while I was filling up the place. You didn't lie, you didn't break, you just let honesty be late. I don't blame you for being unsure, I blame the choice you made to stall. You don't protect a fragile love by saying nothing at all. You let the truth wait when I needed it the most. You kept me holding on to hope while truth stayed close but never spoke. You let the truth wait, and that's what broke our trust. I would have stayed through difficult words, but not through silent dust. Truth doesn't heal when it's delayed, it just explains the pain. You don't lose love from what you say, you lose it when you wait. You lose it when you wait. You let the truth wait, but I won't wait again. I'll choose clarity over comfort before love reaches its end. You let the truth wait, now I finally see honesty spoken too late, it's still dishonesty. Under quiet lights, I walk away. You let the truth wait. I gave you faith when things felt thin, believed in us through doubt within. I chose your word when proof was low. I trusted what I couldn't know. I stood by you when days were gray, told myself you'd find your way, but every promise fell asleep. I gave you faith you didn't keep. I wasn't asking for perfection, just a reason to believe. But faith needs truth to stand on, not hope you won't retreat. I gave you faith you didn't keep. I held the line while trust grew weak. I stayed believing we were strong, while you decided all regret the signs I waved away. You don't break hearts by leaving fast. You do it when you let hope last. I gave you faith you didn't keep. I paid the cost, you kept your sleep. I built my trust on what you said, while honesty stayed unaddressed. I gave you faith you didn't keep. Now I finally see faith without accountability is just belief without security. It's hard to let go of something pure when you believed it would endure. But faith should meet you halfway too. Now stand alone, waiting on you. I gave you faith you didn't keep, but I won't punish my heart. I love with courage, I stay real. You never played your part. I gave you faith you didn't keep. Now I choose what's clear and true. I'll give my faith to honesty, not silence dressed as you. Under quiet skies, I let it sleep. Gave you faith you didn't keep. I stayed in rooms without answers, smiled through words you never gave. I waited for a kind of honesty that never learned my name. I knew something was incomplete, but I told myself, love, forgive. I stayed where truth was missing and called it how love lives. I asked myself 1,000 times if silence meant you cared, but every night I stayed awake, feeling truth wasn't there. I stayed where truth was missing, believed hope would fill the space. I chose patience over clarity, and slowly lost my place. I stayed where truth was missing, and paid the cost alone. You don't lose love You don't lose love in loud mistakes. You lose it when you lose your voice. I stay where truth was missing, but I won't stay again. I'll choose clarity over comfort before my heart gives in. I stay where truth was missing. Now I finally see I deserve a love that speaks to me, not one that lets me bleed. Under empty nights, I walk away. I stay where truth was missing, but I won't stay that way. I'll stay that way. By the time you told me the truth, I had already learned to hate. I carried questions in my chest while you decided what to say. I asked you early, asked you calm. You said nothing's wrong again. Now honesty feels out of place, arriving after the end. I didn't need the perfect words, just needed them in time. Some truths don't heal when they arrive after the goodbye. By the time you told me, my heart had already changed. I waited through the quiet nights while love slowly rearranged. By the time you told me, trust was already gone. You gave me clarity too late, when I needed it all along. Too late. I waited still. Too late. Too late. That's how it feels. I replay moments in my head where honesty could have stayed, but truth was always not right now, until it slipped away. You finally said the things I begged to hear when hope was strong. Now they only explain the pain of why I waited long. I don't blame truth for hurting me. I blame the timing you chose. You don't lose love lose it from what you postpone. By the time you told me, I was tired of believing. I held on longer than I should, just waiting for your meaning. By the time you told me, it couldn't save a thing. Truth doesn't fix what silence broke, it only lets it sink. Timing turns words into weight, turns healing into regret. You don't break hearts by being honest, you break them by waiting to be. By the time you told me, I had already let go. I don't carry anger with me now, just lessons I'll always know. By the time you told me, I finally chose myself. I deserve a love that speaks in time, not truth placed on the shelf. Under fading lights I close the door. By the time you told me, I didn't need it anymore. We dance around the truth for days, set on fire in different ways. We save the words we should have said, until the feeling slowly bled. I felt the distance in your tone, but called it stress, not feeling alone. We kept the peace, we kept the face, and lost the timing of our grace. I asked you once, you turned away. I waited more, you couldn't stay. We chose comfort over fate, and learned what comes when honesty waits. We were honest too late. After love, I learned to wait. When trust was tired and worn thin, that's when truth decided to begin. We were honest too late, when it couldn't save a thing. We spoke the words we needed most after hope was gone. Too late. We finally said it, too late. And that's the regret. I remember nights we almost tried to open up, then let it slide. We smiled through what we couldn't name, afraid the truth would bring the pain. You waited for the perfect time, I waited for a clearer sign. We both believed in someday soon, until Sunday left the room. I don't blame fear for doing what it does, I blame the silence we both chose. You don't lose love in honest words, you lose it when they're postponed. We were honest too late, when forgiveness had expired. You told me how you really felt, even words that heal. Truth is gentle when it's early, and cruel when it's revealed. We were honest too late, but I won't carry it as blame. I'll remember this when loving, and speak before it fades. We were honest too late, now I choose a different way. I want a love that speaks in time, not one that waits. Under quiet skies, I let it rest. I kept moving toward the light, while you stayed back in the night. I spoke my heart without a shield. You kept yours carefully sealed. I felt the gap grow day by day, like love was stuck in one place. I reached for us with open hands, while you stepped back and made no plans. I waited for a sign from you to show me what you choose, but every time I leaned in close, you disappeared into your truth. Love stood still while you hid. I gave motion, you stayed quiet. I kept hoping we'd move ahead, while you avoided trying. Love stood still while you hid, and that's how the distance grew. Not because love had nowhere to go, but because it couldn't move with you. Stood still. While you hid. Stood still. That's how it ended. I noticed how you changed the pace when feelings got too close to face. You called it time, you called it fear, but love can feel when someone's near. I stayed on, I stayed alive, while you stayed halfway inside. I kept believing effort heals, while love was frozen where it stood still. I don't blame you for being scared, I blame the silence you declared. You don't protect a fragile heart by hiding where you truly are. Love stood still while you hid. I kept choosing us alone. I tried to move us forward, while you stayed where you felt safe at home. Love stood still while you hid, that's why it couldn't grow. You can't build something living when one heart won't show. It hurts to hear